Hello transport nerds and fellow planners, and welcome back to Talking Planning. Apologies if you can hear a bit of rain in the background, but there's a pretty large storm system that's just set in Newcastle. But this week we're heading back to sunny Brisbane to check out a bus that I've always liked. As you probably know, Brisbane was quite fast to adopt low-floor buses, with Brisbane Transport becoming the first major government operator to go 100% low-floor back in 2015. Just about every bus company in SEQ will do whatever it takes to avoid using high-floor buses in route service, except for Transdev. Funnily enough, you're probably more likely to get a Mercedes coach like this one, or this one in route service, than catching the low-floor bus that is the subject of today's video. Delivered in 2001, these Volvo B10BLEs started with National Bus Company before transitioning to Connex, Veolia and now Transdev. Along with the recently retired 2000-build Mercedes-Benz 0405 NHs, these were some of the first low-floor buses to serve the Redlands. There are also some Volvo B10LEs which were delivered in 2002, and they are also used on a mix of school and route services. Plenty of B10BLEs are still operating around Australia, including Arana-bodied ones in Bundaberg, Newcastle and Sydney, custom coaches-bodied ones in Brisbane and Sydney, and Volgren-bodied ones in Melbourne. Most of Transdev's buses still sport their old yellow national livery, although one is painted all white and another got the TransLink treatment. So given that low-floor buses are so common in SEQ, why are these so difficult to catch? And why is it potentially more likely you'll get a coach than one of these en route services? Well, I don't know exactly for sure, and it's always surprised me, but I've got a couple of theories. Number 1. Where possible, dual-door buses tend to be used on as many route services as possible, relegating them to school runs. For services into Brisbane CBD, coaches offer better comfort for those longer journey times, which negates all of that. Number 2. B10BLE reliability, well, it could be a bit of a mixed bag. I've been on a few of these with broken air conditioning and wonky air suspension, and that probably means there's less preference to use them in route service. But then again, I've also been on plenty of them which feel like they're in great shape. Number 3. The B10BLE is several years older than many of the high-floor coaches and is rapidly approaching 20 years old. The oldest coach in their fleet is from 2005. Personally, I think it's a combination of all of these. The single-door layout of these buses and the window line is quite interesting, with each window individually framed, and the windows at the back can actually be opened for airflow. This is a good thing when the aircon is temperamental at best. I've always found it odd though that the window just behind the wheelchair seating drops down a little bit further than every other window on this bus. Speaking of odd, the interior of this bus is very blue. Was the depot manager an Eiffel 65 fan? Colour choice aside, you'll find these odd boxes under the seats which remind me of in-flight entertainment power supplies on long-haul aircraft. Are they for cooling? Let me know if you know what they actually are for down below. So before we talk specs, let's have a listen to what this mean machine sounds like. 9.6 litre DH10A engine, ubiquitous with the venerable Volvo B10M, made its way into the B10BLE, offering up to 285 horsepower and Euro 2 emissions compliance. By today's standards, that's not all that impressive, but overall, it still holds up well, and it isn't to be sneezed at. Although, Euro 2 emissions might make your nose itch. It's not uncommon to see these buses blowing black smoke whilst they accelerate away. Whilst I quite like these low-floor Volvos, I can't help but think the enthusiasts tend to be fonder of the B10M, with its high floor layout and boxy body styles, than the newer B10L or B10BLE, which was sleeker and more modern. So this brings me to the crux of this video. As emissions become a bigger deal, we get more stringent Euro standards, and we're now seeing electric buses which are entering the market and offering a compelling use case. Euro 6 diesel and now electric options are significantly cleaner, quieter, and are likely to improve the use case for public transport for many more people. I've actually caught a few electric buses now myself, and for the most part, the quietness and refinement they offer is impressive, which is making for more comfortable and relaxing journeys. And sure, I've got a bit of a soft spot for these old diesel behemoths, but I also think this Volvo is ready for a change of pace. I'm sure it would make a great rail replacement bus, charter vehicle, or even a solid motorhome for the right buyer. And I'm also excited to hear about the new electric trial bus that Transdev will have coming sometime this year. But anyway, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you again soon.